so many that inspire you, bring you to tears. I mean, I get brought to tears,
Yeah.
often,
Yeah.
but the success and the love.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I currently serve, as you said, as the vice president of operations at Chapman Partnership, and I have the responsibility of leading a very dynamic team of over 100 employees. And that consists of 5 different divisions. Our responsibility is to ensure that we are providing the necessary services and the programming, to ensure that each and every individual transition into positive housing opportunities, or to ensure that they're successful in whatever, they need at that moment in time. So we are working with the homeless population, as you know, and the majority of the population, they just need opportunities, access to resources, access to services. And what we do is we streamline that. We make it extremely easy. And how we do that is through our amazing partners in the community. We have amazing donors, sponsors, that help us do the work that we do. So we cannot do this work without our village and our community to help us. And I can tell you, last year alone, we were successful in housing over 2,200 individuals into permanent housing.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And there's still more work to do. More work to do. We want to continue driving impact, and changing lives. Yeah.
You are changing lives,
Yeah.
and changing lives for the better. In the time that you've been there, well,
Mhm.
let's step back a second and talk
Mhm.
about your story and you
Yeah.
and your journey
Yeah.
to Chapman Partnership.
So my journey to Chapman Partnership started 5 years ago, and I had decided that I wanted to be a part of something bigger than me. I wanted to be a part of an organization that led with mission and heart. Because for the last 24 years, I've been in human services. So I've always worked in a career where I was helping vulnerable populations. And so I said, I researched Chapman Partnership. I saw that they did have a position and I applied. And when I came in, I saw the opportunity for me to utilize my skills to help strengthen our processes, our standards, so that we can create more impact. And every single year, we're creating more and more impact. We're changing more and more lives. And so I absolutely love what I do. I am a human services professional by heart.
Why
And
don't you explain that a little bit, like because that's a really big, that's
yeah,
a
it
big
is.
arena.
That it is in a big arena. So the human services field is the field that specifically targets our vulnerable communities. And so when I originally started, I started off in child welfare, ensuring that children weren't abused, neglected, or abandoned. Right. And I worked in that field for about 15, 16 years. And then I switched over into the homeless sector. And I realized that both of these populations, I'm dealing with the same community. The community, folks that are dealing with parenting issues, or they don't have the capability of providing food or shelter for their kids, they end up homeless. So it was the same population of people, but my heart is just believes that everybody deserves an opportunity to succeed, right? Regardless of what situation or whatever crisis or whatever trauma you went through in life, there's always an opportunity to succeed. But with this very vulnerable population, they don't know where to go. Where do I go to get help? And so I'm just glad that I'm a part of Chapman Partnership, because we provide the entire holistic approach. Once you come into our centers, you're going to get all the services, all the resources that you need in order for you to rebuild yourself, in order for you to regain confidence in order for you to dream again.
That's so important to be
It's
able to dream again. You brought me back when I was in college, and I've forgotten about this, but I worked for I had finished early overachiever, and I was doing basically part-time speaking, and in my senior year spoke at John Jay Police Academy on child abuse and detection. And what are some of the signs? And I'd worked with an author of a book, and creating change and so forth. And you really brought me back to what that experience was like, and early detection, and what are some of the signs. And now there, it seems to be so much more of a broader topic that's done, and the education and so forth. But I mean, way back when.
It's a lot with that field, with this field, prevention, awareness, and also safety. How do you create safety nets for, those vulnerable children? So I've been in human services my entire career.
Which means you have a great big golden heart, because I mean that well, your smile says it all.
I absolutely love what I do, because for me, transformation is the biggest blessing, and to see someone or a family transform after they came to us broken. They couldn't even see what tomorrow brings, and to see them going into their, new unit, their house, being employed, having daycare. These are small little things that we, people take for granted who have all of that. But for someone that has had challenges in achieving that, that's success for them. And it's ultimately transformation, where they're no longer having to rely on anyone or sleeping on the streets. Now you have your own home.
I mean, that is so important. And also too, that the biggest message that I think I have seen people get from Chapman Partnership is to take away that stigma, because anyone can end up homeless, and that the face of home. I mean, the year that I was honored, it was like what's the face of anyone can end up
homeless,
homeless, and
and there's a big misconception about what homelessness looks like, what it feels like. It's everyday people. It could be me tomorrow, and then when you come into our center, if you come out and take a tour, you'll see these are regular people that could be in your family. This could be your grandparents. This could be someone that you work with and you had no idea. 40% of our population, they're employed. And so their colleagues probably have no idea that they're struggling and they don't have permanent housing and they're living in an emergency shelter, because they get up and they go to work every day. So there's a misconception that homeless individuals have mental health issues or just substance abuse issues. And our data doesn't support that. Yes, some might have that, but that is not the core reason or the core problem. Like, homelessness can happen to anyone. And I'll give you an example of a grandmother that we had. Maria. Maria was in her 60s. She was working in hospitality, living on her own. Her daughter had a 1-year-old child, and she brought the daughter over to Maria and vanished, left. So you have a grandmother who's left as the caregiver of her 1-year-old granddaughter. So she has to work every single day. But she has this baby and she's trying to get services on her own. She's told we don't have it. She's put on wait list. And her employer says, hey, if you don't come to work, we're going to let you go. So she's like, I have to take care of my granddaughter. So she lost her job. And when that happened, life just hit her. Bills came. She ended up getting evicted, but she was determined to keep her 1-year-old granddaughter. She ended up having to go live in her car for a couple of days. and called the homeless helpline. My team, my family coordinated entry team, completed an assessment on her. We brought Maria and her grandchild into the shelter, and we did an assessment and we listened to her story. And listening to her story, we determined that there are systems in place that aren't really helping folks point in time when they need it, when they're right in a crisis. So we knew exactly what she needed, and she said to us exactly what she needed. We got her childcare within a week. Maria got with our employment department and secured a job. And we successfully placed her and her grandchild in their own apartment. Now she's thriving.
I love it.
That's
I love
transformation.
it. That is transformation.
And that's impact. And that's why I love doing the work that I do.
And it's hope.
Yes.
It's when I think of Chapman Partnership, I shared not too long ago, and it's about hope.
It is.
It's where hope is. The seeds are planted and they grow. And you see so many of these families, beautiful families, flourish. And and let's talk about some of the programs, because we're going to assume that whoever's listening out there, we're going to give you Chapman Partnership 101.
Okay.
So let's talk about all the services, because I think there's even a lot more, especially during the summer. There's a lot of summer programs. Why don't you talk about A to Z, kind of the different types of programs that you guys offer and services?
Yeah. So we provide an array of services. Comprehensive programs and services that we have. We have medical services on site. We have a clinic on site. We have psychiatric services. We also provide individual counseling, group counseling, and family counseling, because 45% of our population consists of families with minor children. So we also, So we also have a family resource center that specifically enriches the atmosphere for our children. They focus on academic development, social development. So we have all this summer, like you said, we're having a summer camp. It's called Summer Camp at Chapman Partnership. It's all for our kids, and they get to go on field trips. They get to be involved in different activities in the community that they probably would never experience. So we have some really amazing donors and sponsors that, they definitely make sure that our children have a sense of normalcy. We also provide comprehensive case management. And that's very critical, because when a client comes in and a household comes in, they need help with their navigating their case plan on how they can get to housing stability, or how they can get to their next goal of, obtaining all of their legal documents that they've lost. We do work in collaboration with over 30 different organizations.
I was going to say there's so much collaboration.
Oh yeah, there's collaboration.
They refer to you, you refer to them,
right?
And depending on the situation, right?
Right. And the best thing about our partnerships is that our partners come on site to provide services. We like to meet our clients where they are. And so it's a direct referral to them. It's a direct connect. Our clients need, assistance, with employment. And if we have PNC Bank and Chase Bank that come out on site. So like, you're employed and you receive your first or second check, you don't have a bank account. PNC and Chase Bank are literally on site. They can help that client immediately to open up a savings or a checking account. So it's just a holistic approach by bringing all the services on site so we can better serve the population.
I love that. And you said, how many people do you manage at five divisions?
I have over 100 employees in 5 different divisions.
So let's talk about your style, because I always find it very fascinating to talk about leadership. We had our Rockstar Book of Leaders. And when you think about your leadership style, what would you say? How would you describe it? What, because
Yeah,
that's a lot.
it is a
Of
lot.
people, a lot, and people managing people is the toughest part of a job
Yeah.
sometimes. So what would you say is your style and your gift?
So I would say my style is I am a mission-driven leader, and I'm very transparent, collaborative, and I communicate. But my gift is building people. Building people. I build my employees up, and I ensure that they understand what the mission is and how that relates to impact and how that relates to the results and how that relates to them and the work that they do. And it really empowers employees when they understand that, I am the result of this impact because of the work that I do. And I do that quite well. That's one of my greatest gifts is building people.
I think that shows.
Yeah.
You have probably, and I don't want to get in trouble for saying this, but I would say a very visible team spirit.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, I know half your team and love them. And what I love about them is, would just take a walk just happened. And I mean, each one of them always with a smile on their face. Mm-hmm. They just look like they love what they do, enjoy it from the heart. And, Christy and all of them. I mean, they're just absolutely delightful, loving, and seem to have like a real and leadership. I mean, Scott. Right. I mean, everyone from A to Z seems to have that spirit. Yeah. What do you think is the secret sauce at Chapman? Like, how does that get translated throughout the organization?
Well, it definitely starts from the top. Our CEO, Scott Hansel, he's a servant leader. He leads with his heart. And then we have an amazing board who also have been on our board for many, many, we have different board members that have been on our board for almost 30 years. And they're on the board because they're passionate about the work that we do. And so it all starts from the top and then it trickles down with the executive leaders and the teams. And it's all about, creating this amazing impact and just changing lives. That's what we want to do. We have an obligation to our community here in Miami-Dade County to make sure that nobody is left behind.
And you've done that. And so what would you say in the last 5 years, the 3 highlights of your career that you would say, gee, you're a shining star, right, and let's put the spotlight on, those 3 high points. What would they be?
One of the high points would be that we've done so much amazing work in this community that we've had the opportunity to expand our services, our housing services, and get additional grant opportunities, not off of a competitive solicitation, only because individuals and organizations and corporations saw the impact, the results. And so they tapped on us to say, hey, we have this grant opportunity for housing, and we would love for you to manage this process. So that's major. That's major. That shows, we've been doing the work and we're being acknowledged, and we have been blessed to be able to get certain grant opportunities to be able to house more people. So that's one of the highlights that I love to brag about.
There you go.
And our housing director, Maritza Luna, and her team, they are amazing, amazing. Another highlight would be our amazing partnership with Miami-Dade County Homeless Trust. So we are a private sector partner with the Homeless Trust, and they lean in on us to help with special projects in the community that goes on, just to make sure that we are, contributing to the effort of getting individuals housed. And so that's big, that's major, because, when you have a public sector entity that can rely on Chapman Partnership to do the work, that says a lot about, our footprint and what we've done in this community. And I would say the third thing that's a highlight for me
Yeah.
is really providing the opportunity for professional development to my employees. I have had several employees be promoted into mid-senior level roles. I've had several of them. So they, start off as direct employees, take on opportunities to grow professionally, and we're promoted. That's building people, because guess what? They're going to be the next leaders.
Uh-huh.
They're going to drive our mission forward. And I always think about the future, like who's next in line to lead. And I always tell my team, you all are leaders. Everyone, you're a leader. You're a leader. I instill that into them because I truly believe that they all have that potential.
I mean, there you go. That's that wraps it up in a nice bow. And you have individuals like, Janet. We were talking about Janet Lorenzo Garcia, who does the monthly birthday parties,
celebrations,
and she the celebration. I didn't get to go to the June one, but just consistently. I mean, the community love that there is for Chapman Partnership is just, you guys are so, it's part of the community fabric.
Right.
It's so loved. It's family. You feel like an extension of us, and we feel the same way. And I think all those things are really important because of the impact. What would you say is looking forward in the next 5 years, something that you would like to see or a dream that you have, and kind of like a wish?
Well, a wish that I have for our organization in the future is for us to have the ability to have our own permanent housing, apartment complexes, duplexes, so that we can do more work in the community, and that Chapman owns and manages, and we could be able
Hold on,
to.
don't we have a developer? I have a few developers on.
You do?
Hold on, I think we need to make a call.
Yes.
I mean, that's a really great, that's a prayer.
Yeah.
I mean, that I love that.
Yeah, that's a great initiative. We definitely want to be able to provide that as an organization, because there's a lack of affordable housing here in Miami-Dade County. But if we could own or build our own, permanent supportive, housing, and we'd manage that, we'd probably have a much higher success rate of getting individuals housed. And so that's one of my, and I know our organization as well, one of our top priorities.
Well, it gets to the topic of sustainability,
right?
Because you've done all this work to put this family back together, and in the case of Maria, but life keeps on lifing,
right?
So and the housing costs and everything else, trying to keep someone independent. Once they've gotten there, but sustaining that is also part of the challenge.
Oh yeah, it is. And what we do provide for all of our clients once they do transition out, we provide them with supportive services, which is a case manager that stays with them for up to 12 months to make sure that they've transitioned well in the community. And we are aware that, like you said, life happens. So just because you're housed, you might, have your own unit, but in 3 months, your car might break down.
Exactly.
So you'll have a supportive services case manager with you to help you navigate through those challenges, to make sure that you don't fall back on your rent or your utilities, and that your kids are going to school, and to see if there's any resources that we could, provide to support you during, that challenge. So that's one of the great services that we do provide, supportive services in the community after individuals have transitioned and they have housing, we tie into case management up to 12 months for them just to make sure they transition well.
Is there anything I haven't asked you that you would like to spotlight? Anything that you're like, oh, I wish Emily had asked me?
Um, Well, one thing about Chapman Partnership, we are very family oriented and we do lead with our heart. And so you're a part of our family. You were an honoree through Take a Walk in Her Shoes, and you have done some incredible work in this community. And we salute you and thank you for being a great partner, a friend to us, and always, giving back. And so I did want to tell you that.
Thank you. Are you going to bring me to tears? We have, you see, you got me all choked up. We have a few minutes left, and I want to give you an opportunity to make a direct ask to our listeners, our community, how we can support you. What do you need? And, especially in these summer months where so many go away and so forth. So take it away to camera 3.
All right. So if you want to learn more about Chapman Partnership, or you want to get involved or even volunteer, you can visit our website at chapmanpartnership.org. As Emily said, we are in the summer months, and one of the things that we do need are essential items to make sure individuals stay cool during this very hot season. If you want to donate, you can also visit our website, and you can also check us out on social media. We are on Instagram and we are on Facebook. You can come in to volunteer. You can take a tour. We do offer community service hours for those that are in need of that. But please come out, check Chapman Partnership out. We've been in this community for the last 30 years, and we are committed to our mission.
That's so wonderful. And you have your gala coming up.
Yes, we have our gala coming up in October. This is our signature fundraising event.
And it's an anniversary.
Yes. 30 years in this community.
30 years is a big deal.
It is.
It is a big deal. We plan to be there. Thank you so much. You're beautiful inside and out, and truly have that heart of gold that shows through. And we just love you, love Chapman, and your whole team. Thank you for being on Spotlight TV. Thank you for joining us on Spotlight TV. We will see you next week. We're very grateful for not only our producer, Emily, but all our partners in the community, partners here at Community Newspapers. A special thank you to Grant and to Michael for producing this show and for taking us on at Miami Women Who Rock. We love to showcase our rock star CEOs, foundations, organizations, and leadership in our community, because it all starts with there. And that's where those seeds of hope get planted. And I think we got a dose of hope here this morning. And